Doo 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 doo. Hello, welcome to 420 Live. I'm your host, Jeff Kravitz. Welcome to another adventure. Wednesday, July 7th. It's 420 wherever you are. It's a state of mind. So pull up a chair as the dog attacks the mailman. Pull up a chair and join us for what is sure to be an interesting day. My guest today, Marcus Rezak, guitar player extraordinaire, gateway to the galaxy. He'll be joining us shortly. And also, Benjamin Davis from the Bad Veins. They are dropping a new video like right this second, and we're going to premiere it here on this show in about 35 minutes or so. We'll have Benjamin on, but for now, I'm going to welcome you to our daily distraction. I'm going to turn on some lights here, even though the light is looking pretty good here, but let's shed some light on it. I had a great show yesterday. Jared Slomoff, he gave us some great backstory on that fish adventure last night. If you guys were watching that, I got a little seasick there in the middle because it was like, whoa, what is going on? The camera's up their nose. It's on the side. Renee must have been a short little photographer because I just watched him shoot everybody's nose all night. And the stage was so small. Trey almost whacked Mike in the head with his guitar a couple times. So that was it was fun. It was really good. It was really, really great to hear how raw the playing was. And amazing to hear how formed the songs were at those times. That it's pretty much the same songs you hear nowadays when you go to a fish show. You hear the guys ripping it up just like that. So, yes, getting seasick is part of being a Fish fan, especially when you get into those jams. But in the 80s, they were definitely playing at a level that was just crazy, just flying by the seat of their pants. So interesting to watch and interesting to for them to give us the perspective every week. It's nice of the guys to come through, and Jared really did a great job finding that rare video and making it all work together. So, yes, there it goes. Mitchell Davis. It is. Yes, it is part. Of course, I sent one email out to a guest last night. Where are you? And that was the Ben, and we had a great check. And then I sent it out. Marcus hits me up. He's like, how are we doing this? Like 2 minutes before we go on the air. And I'm like, oh, shit. I forgot to send you the email with the links. So Marcus is dealing with that now. We'll get to that in a minute. It's been an adventure, folks. Every day, it's getting up and feeling like you're in the Twilight Zone. You know, I've lost my professional identity as a photographer. It was nice to see those Ringo shots yesterday. Kind of remind me of what I used to do and all the amazing things that I've witnessed and seen over my life. And today I sat down this morning when I woke up and watched the YouTube special that they did for, or the online special they did for Ringo. And 80's the new 60, folks. I saw Ringo and he looked great. And Joe Walsh, I mean, you know, in the old days, someone was 80, they'd be like, all crickety. And these guys are looking great. I don't know if it's a vegan lifestyle or whatever, but I was really blown away by, you know, how youthful Ringo was and how, you know, he has to dye every hair on that head from here all the way to here. And he is a little bit more than I do, just cut a little bit closer. He's a true talent. And it was amazing to see Ringo in action. And I'm seeing Marcus load in. There you are. I see you there, Marcus. We'll be with you in a second. Glad you made it. Whew. That was exciting. Yes, but it's interesting. The 80 is the new 60. When you see these guys, they're so together. Ringo, Joe Walsh, like all these guys were just so jived in and connected. And such an amazing history when you see those old pictures of Ringo with the big schnoz and the short butchered bowl cut. The Beatles, true originals. We wouldn't be probably where we are without them. We probably need something now to unite us, kind of like the Beatles. I don't know. But I would love to feel that vibrant when I'm 80. Like I'm just about to come into 60. So now I'm kind of feeling it. I'm like, I watch that and I'm like, okay, I got this. I got this down. I'm going to be able to rock the next 20 years. I don't have to pretend I'm an old man because, inside you don't feel like Ringo says this. Inside he feels like he's 24 and outside the body's a little bit older. Anyway, let's get to the guests because we got 2 today. Marcus Rezak, guitar player extraordinaire, gateway to the galaxy. Come on in.
Yes.
Hello. How are you?
How's it going? Hi. Hey, everybody.
Good. How are you?
Here. I'm great. Just hanging out here.
Can you hear me all right?
Denver, Colorado. Yeah, I got a little rough connection with you here, but just gonna try and bear with it. It's a little slow, but
okay.
I'm here.
It's slow on your end. I hope you can see me. You can hear me. All right.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm lagging behind you a little bit, but we're gonna be all right, I think.
All right. Just pretend it's working, and we'll get through it. I can see you kind of locking up a little bit. What are you looking at up there? What's up there?
Yeah, we're locked up.
All right.
Oh gosh, how's that?
That's fine. Now? I mean, are you hearing me okay?
Hopefully
part of the
a little better.
Part of it, it takes a couple minutes for it to kind of.
I can hear you fine.
All right, that's the main. That's the main thing. The picture will catch up with itself, and everybody online will make the best of it. So you moved to Denver. That was kind of a newer thing. You've only been there for a little while, right? Now he's frozen. The Wi-Fi. God bless the Wi-Fi. There he is. Come on, Marcus. You're coming in. And this is why I hardwired my line. Are you hearing me at all? Marcus, call back in. Try to call back in and see if that works. All right. Let's try this. Because I'm not hearing you right now. I'm going to remove you from this. Kick from studio. All right. So one of the problems with live is that it makes you feel alive. As things deteriorate at the beginning of the argument. You know what? It's funny. I have problems with people in the mountain regions. Colorado, Ojai, my friends up in Vermont when I did Twiddle. Even when went to Stuart Copeland's house, we had a little issues with the Wi-Fi, and I was doing it in person. So I think it's an issue. That's why the lady said to me, Kravitz, don't go live. Whatever you do, tape it, take your time, cut it together, give the people a program. And I'm like, no, this is so much more fun. Like sitting here, wondering what's going to happen. Yeah. I feel very soprano-ish when I do that. Yeah. Yes. Live. Is it live or is it Memorex? Marcus Rezak. He's got some good music out. God, his album is just tell a joke. Clayton, every word out of my mouth is a joke, my friend. You know this. I don't have one joke. I just am a joke, which is why I'm here. Because I'm incredibly entertaining. That's what I got. Keep it live. I think Marcus he's given up. Yes. And it's funny when I was talking to one of my friends. I can't remember who the hell it was. And they were like, yeah, my favorite interview you did was it's not my connection. I am hardwired in, Dave Kane. I look at me. I'm flying. I'm as crystal clear as can be. You guys can see me fine. There's no lag, right? Did I freeze up? I don't freeze up. Unless my Wi-Fi, but I hardwired the Wi-Fi. I learned the hard way. I had some friends that gave me advice. Hardwire the Wi-Fi. Yes, the Tommy Chong meltdown. 40 minutes working to get Tommy on the air for that first interview. Schwitzing and sweating and then talking to him for another 50 minutes once I got him a hold of him. That was like an hour of pure torture followed by another hour of pure torture. Oh my God. It's pure torture. Marcus. I think Marcus is lost. I lost him in the galaxy, the gateway to the galaxy. Maybe I should bring Ben. Ben, are you watching? You want to call me now and we'll do you until we can figure out Marcus? Mitch, want to make that happen? Have Mr. Davis come in now. Let's see. Let's see if that works. And maybe I could just rearrange the guests and let Mitch let me do this, folks. All right, play some guitar. It's not wired. I have the amp and everything, but it'll take me 10 minutes to wire everything. Can I tell you all the good stuff? Yeah, Mitch, have him just have Ben, because I don't have a thing for Ben. A priest, a monk, and a rabbit walk into the bar, and the rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo." Oh, because I'm supposed to be a rabbi. Justin Henry, play some guitar. No, I'm already losing viewers as it is. So why would I want to do that? Want to hear a job about construction? Hold on. Rick Cinderbrand? I'm building on it. Oh, man. Thanks, Nina. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Okay, so we're gonna rearrange the show today. I hope Marcus is all right there in the mountains of Colorado. It's so funny. He was like, "Yeah, I want to come on the show," and then they come on the show, and I can't talk to them. It'll be great. This will be great. A dyslexic walks into a bra. I like that too. Rough crowd. Yeah, I'm ganning viewers because people come here just for me to ramble. Not here for the guests. They're here for the exciting questions. They don't want to hear the answers. My crowd's all about the questions. I don't even have to say anything. But yes, people are like, it's 420. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Kravitz is on. If life gives you melons, maybe you're just less dyslexic. You guys, you're killing it there. Kelly Baines. Oh boy. Let's see. Oh shoot! Oh yeah, I'm hearing. I'm having technical difficulties. Ike, I have guests, of course. They're all stuck in Wi-Fi land. You come for the hang. Exactly, we're hanging. I want to smoke some weed, but I didn't bring any with me today. But we are going to hit my Puffco on Friday show because Friday is 710, and for all of you out there, 710. If you turn it upside down, it says oil. So 710, that's why my friend from 710 Labs, Brad Melshanker, is going to come. And that's after we talk to our buddy Jesse Stanley, one of the Stanley brothers from the CBD Stanley family. Okay, so Ben's coming over. Yeah, I have weed at the house, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's just right here at the office. I usually bring a little bit, I don't keep my yearly supply here, but bring back Jared. Jared called me today to just tell me a couple more stories that he wanted to tell yesterday. One about Jim Keltner, which was really great, and it's so funny because he's like, there were so many things I wanted to talk to that we didn't even get to because people come in and they have all these things in their mind they want to talk to, and of course I have things I want to talk about too. So it's like a two-way street. Okay. All right. We're waiting for Ben from Bad Veins. And I have an earthquake preparedness supply. Mitch at the house. Marcus, let's see. If Marcus comes in, tell Ben I'll see him in 20. Or wait, I can see him. He's trying. The guy is trying so hard. I see a face. I'm waiting for the mic to click in. Yeah, I can't get rid of the Jersey accent there, Nina. That comes with me everywhere I go. And I'm waiting, Jackie. I'm waiting. He's so close. Look, I can see him. That's like what he would look like if he was there. But his camera and his video aren't locking in. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna go to Ben but we're gonna talk to Mr. Ben Davis. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Great.
I was just dealing with my first guest who was having major technical difficulties.
Oh, no.
So thank you for popping in early, and I will wait.
And I was drinking while I did it.
I like it. I like it. Well, at 4:20, you're in the right place.
Yeah. Oh well, I should have been doing other things.
Well, don't worry. We got time. We can get to all that. So tell me about the Bad Veins. How did that start?
Oh God. Well, I've always liked music. I've always been pretty bad at everything, but maybe not so bad at music. So I started bands in high school, college, a lot of sloppy indie rock stuff, like way into like Pavement. And I mean,
Steve Malcolmus. I mean, when I listened to your music, and it reminded me, it very 80s influenced.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so after being in bands with other musicians and bass, drums, guitar, synths, big sloppy rock bands, whatever, eventually I decided I wanted to try something different, and I started recording at home, just experimental recording. And that's when I started Bad Veins, and I use a lot of mellotrons and using choir sounds and big orchestral things, and I just like to build ornate recordings. And I really wasn't sure how to do it live, or I don't even know if I had playing live as anything I had thought about doing. But then a friend of mine in another band asked if I'd play in front of their open for their show, and what do you mean? How would I play this live? And I looked over at this old reel-to-reel. This camera's cropped. I got these old.
I see it behind you there.
So I thought maybe I would just dump some backing tracks on an old reel-to-reel and play on stage next to the tape, and that's kind of how Bad Veins was born. And then I got a drummer, and then two people and reel-to-reel playing all these mellotron things, and it was kind of like an accident. I think a lot of creativity stems from just problem solving. So
you would come up, you'd lay all your tracks on the tape deck. David Byrne, that's how he started Stop Making Sense, was with him and his cassette recorder.
I did not know that at the time, but yeah, I have since learned that.
So very cool idea. I mean, most people do stuff like that with a little bit more advanced equipment, don't they? With loop machines and.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it a million ways, and I've experimented with all of them, but I just really like my tape machines.
And you named your tape machine too. It has a personality and stuff.
I did. I named her Irene. It was my dad's. He gave it to me. He's a musician, and he's been playing music for a million years, and he gave it to me in his obsessive decluttering, which now I also do. But he's like, you're a musician too. You find a use for this. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? So it was literally just sitting on the shelf when I got this email to open for another band. I'm like, how am I going to do this? So there it was. So there's a fly down here bothering me.
Don't let it get to you. That's pretty incredible. Well, you have a new video come out today. What's the inspiration behind the song Helicopter?
Helicopter. It's funny. I wrote it before all of this quarantine business and the apocalyptic 2020 happened, but the thinking and the emotion behind it is the same kind of sometimes you look around and you're just like, what? I just want out. I want out of this situation so badly. And you try to I like to think that I try. Sorry, my alarm that I had set to join this show.
To join me is going off. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but I joined early. So it was just, it's just, it's funny. Don't Run is one of the big single off my last album. And this is the total antithesis of that one. Don't Run is like, clean up the mess you've made. Don't run away from it. And this one is like, nope, run away.
Just get the hell out of here.
If you feel like you got to get taken away by a helicopter, so be it.
Well, the band is the Bad Veins. I see some people in there chirping in, wondering what it is. And should we take a look at this?
Sure, yeah.
All right, and now I can see you in the bottom here. So if the sound's not working, give me a thumbs down, and if the sound's working, give me a thumbs up. All right,
yeah, for sure.
If you had told me just this time yesterday, I'd be starting over, I'd be running away. How did I get here again? I might never know. Let down you rope, God knows I'm ready to go. I don't wanna be here, I don't wanna stay. Helicopter, come and take me away. I've done all I can, I've done all my part you take. Helicopter, come and take me away. I might be lost, but I might still be found. I gotta keep my head up, I can't get turned around. I keep my hands in the air, you keep your eyes down below. And hang down your rope, God knows I'm ready to go. I don't wanna be here, I don't wanna stay. Helicopter, come and take me away. I've done all I can, I've done all my part you take. Helicopter, come and take me away. Please, helicopter, come and take me away. Don't care what we do or where we go, I just gotta get real high, so far from all I know. I can see you coming closer to set me free. Yeah, please, helicopter, come and take me. Come and take me. I don't wanna be here, I don't wanna stay. Helicopter, come and take me away. I've done all I can, I've done all my part you say. Helicopter, come and take me away. Please, helicopter, come and take me away. Yeah, please, helicopter, come and take me away.
that was great.
Thank you. See how much
What,
my hair is growing since this quarantine started?
Yeah, was that your hair without a cut or with a cut?
Yeah. I cut my hair.
Oh my God, dude.
Now it's like, that's how long I've been down here in my basement.
Hiding out. So the video is really cool. Did you just shoot in the black room and then add everything and all the lights flashing on you like that, colored lights?
I'll show you. It's these little guys. I got one right here. Just a couple of these little lights.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I just MIDI program them to the music.
Did you do that yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, one of my best friends from grade school is a video guy too, and we have worked together on a lot of stuff. And he helps me brainstorm and run a camera. So the two of us made it.
So, you know, we're so out of the video generation now. It's like become such an afterthought. How is marketing, like, where do you market the videos to nowadays?
You got me. I have no idea. I try to I just like to make things and not problem solve the industry because I don't know. Maybe I've resigned to that. It's just it really sucks the joy out of it. I just like to make.
Just like to create. Well, the music industry itself is known for the meat grinder. You know, it's just very hard when you're trying to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, and you know, as soon as I had a bit of a hiatus before this groove music, which I'm sure we can talk about in a second, but like, it's very easy to feel romantic and nostalgic about certain aspects. And then you just dive back in. You're like, oh, there, it's gone. Now I'm doing it. Feels better. So it's like, I love being in the game, as you say. Like, I like making stuff. I like doing shows. I like making records and putting out things. Some of it I don't like. But I just like to be
creative.
Yeah.
You like to create. What did that? You're in the right industry, obviously, and you got a nice knack for it. You know, when I heard your music, somebody talk about the Killers vibe. But one of the things that reminded me of was Howard Jones. And do you know Howard Jones? You know who he is?
No, not by name.
Well, he's a solo artist, and the 80s solo.
I just accidentally turned on our own interview.
That's fine. Just pause us.
There we go.
But Howard Jones was a solo artist, and I saw him at the Spectrum. He sold out the Spectrum in the 80s, and I went to go see him. And on the stage, when you looked at the stage, the only thing on stage was one keyboard, and it was hanging from the ceiling. So it was coming down off these two cords, and there's a keyboard. And he walks out on stage. He was the only person on stage the entire night and captivated the audience, 18,000 people, everybody on the same page. And it's the first time I've ever seen a solo artist play a rock show by himself. And everything was programmed into his keyboard, and it was phenomenal. So
he had a huge following, I guess. And
yes, because he wrote these crazy songs. Like, I believe one was Blinded by Sign? No, that was by Thomas Dolby. Howard Jones. Now I gotta look it up. Howard Jones, singer. His song was.
Are you familiar with
What Is Love? What is love anyway? Is anybody out like anyone else? You know,
and he did that on a keyboard in front of 18,000 people by himself.
Yeah, you got it. Unbelievable. And for an hour and a half.
Are you familiar with Wesley Willis?
No.
Oh, well, he's a totally different breed of musician. He was a man from Chicago with schizophrenia, terrible mental handicap issues. And he would go on stage with his keyboard and play these backing tracks. And it was funny and ironic, and he was schizophrenic, and they were crazy songs, and he was self-aware.
What era was this?
Oh God, I saw him play. I mean, he passed away a decade or so ago, and he was playing up until that moment. He's an interesting fella. You should check out Wesley Willis.
That's great.
He was famous for head bunting people. I was head bunted by Wesley Willis before he passed away. But yeah, I feel like I saw Daniel Johnston actually played on stage with a keyboard by himself. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but solo artists, it's really hard. But the one thing I saw when I was reading about your show was that everybody was kind of blown away by what you were doing live on stage and the way you presented the music. So what was it about your performance how did you create your performance?
Well, so it historically has been a drummer and me and Irene, the reel to reel. I've always been very fortunate to have very entertaining drummers. First of all, like I like big, fat, like John Bonham drums, just huge drums. And I've had a few drummers that they're not John Bonham, but they play hard and it's fun to watch, and that's a big part of it. And I think that I tend to have a little bit of a schizophrenic energy when I perform. I don't know how to explain it. And I think that if you like the songs, and people that come to Bad Bane shows are usually big fans, and liking the songs beforehand in combination with just the frenetic energy of the show, I think. I don't know. I've never seen this, to be honest.
Well, you watched tapes and stuff, right?
I have not. I know.
Oh, you haven't watched yourself live?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very uncomfortable, even thinking about it.
Have you? Well, was that? Yeah, I noticed you weren't watching the screen when the video came on either.
Oh no. I mean, I've seen it. I'm very happy with the video, but I edited the video myself.
Well,
I've seen it.
Nice skills. So
Thanks.
you alluded to a hiatus. Talk about, because you talk about your approach to the music business and your history and kind of how your path has been, because everybody has a very different way in and around this business.
Yeah. So I kind of got in. Like I said, I was making home recordings with really no idea if I was even interested in pursuing a career in music. I was just making recordings. And a friend of mine in another band asked if I would open for their band. And I literally was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't have a band. I have these recordings. So the Reel to Reel, I played a show with Irene, and it was recommended by a friend. Like, I have a friend who's a drummer. You should bring this drummer into your band. I'm like, but it's not a band. So I added a drummer, and then me, the drummer, and Irene played a show opening for another band, and that band was touring through Cincinnati, proceeded to New York. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, by the way. That band continued on to New York and told a lot of their friends in New York, bloggers and stuff, about this band called Bad Bane they had just played with. And I remember that band crashed at my house that night because I lived just a few blocks from that venue. And I said, that was our second show ever. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, that's the second show. And so then, like, the next that coming week, I got an email from someone running a showcase at Knitting Factory in New York. Like, hey, we would love to feature Bad Banes in this month, the series of concerts we're doing. And I was just like, huh? I was dumbfounded. And then there were labels there at that show. It was like our third show ever. And it was like in New York, and there were labels hunting around. And we ended up signing with Danger Bird in LA, hipster label, right? They got that cool spot right on Sunset. And they put out our first full-length record, which was done before we even signed a record deal. And and then it's just like label,
Bullshit.
politics. Yeah, but all along I felt like we've been very fortunate to be where we were and to like make the relationships with the people we have. And I put out 2 records, and the third one is what this is here. So on this record, we're figuring out when to release it. The pandemic happens, and suddenly, like, putting out a record seems a little strange, right? You're like, what are we gonna do? Put it out and then let it slip into the past while we sit here at home?
I'd say, listen, everybody is in such a hard time right now.
Yeah, excuse me. I'm opening up another beer.
That's fine.
So we decided we were just going to release it, one song at a time. Make a video for each. Why not? I'm home. I got
time.
Yeah, we got time. We're just sitting around. I'm working with a bunch of people on a bunch of different videos right now, and we're trying to figure out how to make interesting art while also being safe. Some of it's done completely remotely. I've got this green screen right here, which I'm getting ready to shoot another video this week that I'm going to be sending that footage to you. Chroma. If anybody knows how this stuff works, it's like the
Well, we all have the Zoom now. We all got the green screen Zooms and changing the backgrounds.
So the green screen, you see the weatherman on the news. He's in front of a green screen, not a mat.
Right.
So I'm getting ready to shoot another one this week where I'm performing basically kind of like the helicopter thing, but it's working its way into an animation. And then I just got a bunch of video projects lined up now that the collection of songs is done. And we're just going to keep putting out singles and music videos. And why not?
Well, it's very intriguing. The music's very catchy. I love the song, and you got a good team. You got Mitch Davis. I mean, come on, legendary music family there behind you. So the Davis is at it.
Well, it's funny because my name is also Davis.
I know,
and I love to joke that he's my cousin, and that's how that I got involved with him.
It crossed my mind. I'm not going to say it didn't cross my mind.
So let me be a dork for a second. The pilot episode of Andy Griffith. In that episode, Barney is talking to Andy, saying, I know you had a lot of applicants for this position, and I'm so glad that you picked me, cousin Andy. And there was this joke. They eventually rewrote the show where he was no longer his cousin, but in the pilot, he was his cousin. So I like to pretend that I'm Mitch's cousin and that he gave me a record deal because of our familial connection. But
well, you're with great people. We look forward to hearing all the videos. I appreciate you coming on a little bit early today so we could squeeze this in.
I was hoping to have much more alcohol in my system before.
Yeah, you would have been it would have been a completely different interview if we had you on now, I'm sure. But that's fine. I think we got the point across. I think people are glad to see that people are being creative and coming up with stuff. And you don't have to go far, right? You can do all this at home. So it's nice to have a paradigm. When I grew up, if you didn't have a record label, if you didn't have a big studio to do a music video in, you weren't doing this stuff. And now you can do this all in your house, which is kind of.
I write and arrange and produce, a huge chunk of what ends up being on the record sitting at home. And then, I have a very good friend who owns a studio here in Cincinnati, and I'll go in and work with him in a proper studio to get drums and some things that I'm not very good at. And he helps me produce and stuff. But you can get a very long way with a computer at your house.
Oh, we all have. I mean, come on. I'm living in it.
Right.
Well, thanks, Ben. I appreciate you coming on. And I look forward to seeing more music out of you, more videos, and we'll be paying attention.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me, Jeff. Great.
All right. Have a great day.
Yeah.
All right. So kind of crazy show today. We're mixing everything up. I think Marcus is ready. We're going to talk to Marcus. Let's see if this worked.
Yeah.
You there, Marcus?
Hey.
All right. I can see you. I can hear you. Yeah. Great. You hear me all right?
Nice. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I hear you
well.
Yeah,
well, ultimately my fault because I sent Ben his email and I had yours all lined up and I don't know why I didn't hit send. And then you're like, how do I get on today? And I'm like, oh, shit. No wonder why we didn't do a test.
Right.
How's it going? It
happens.
Yeah, trust me, everything's happened that could happen on air with me. So I wouldn't be surprised if something else goes wrong. But how's everything in Marcus's life? You got new music out? Yes.
Yeah, everything is good. My album Gateway to the Galaxy, which came out a little while ago, has been doing well, and one of the tracks called Oceans 413 was just released on the Color Red record label here in Denver, Colorado. And it's a really cool track with Joel and Chris from Humphreys McGee are on it with me, and Arthur Barrow on bass, my good friend who played with Frank Zappa, and Bill Evans on saxophone, played with Miles Davis. So I'm stoked that track is out there and doing well. And I've been recording new original music as well for a new record that's out very soon. And it's a different vibe in the first record. I've got Tony Markellis and Russ Lawton on the track and really excited to put those out soon. So yeah, a lot of new fresh stuff being created while we're here off tour.
Yeah, you've been locked up. What were you doing in the? Were you on the road, or what were you doing in early March?
Yeah, well, I had been nonstop on the road for the last 2 years, pretty much. the longest I've been in Denver since moving here, actually. So it's been interesting, but just going all over the place. I was coast to coast, doing shows with Ross Lawton and Vinny Amico and from O and Chris from Humphreys, and a lot of shows with Shred is Dead, my project, which does Grateful Dead tunes in kind of a progressive, different way, high octane, faster, updated sort of vibe, but with the same song content and lyrical vibe and everything. And that also with my original stuff, which I was just talking about, doing shows, sometimes double bill shows, doing both acts, and just really cruising around. We had a great Humphreys after show with another project I do called Supernatural Beings in New York with Jake Sininger and
I mean, you have
Joel
so many
and
different.
Guy
How many
from
different?
Beaver.
How many different bands are you playing with? Because every time I see you, it's like a different conglomeration of artists.
Yeah, I'm playing with a bunch of different people right now. The main thing is my original project. It keeps me entertained. It keeps things fresh. I like to play a lot of different kinds of music, and I'm like a chameleon of styles. I love it all. So whatever it is, I adapt to it. And I'm doing a lot of stuff out lately. I've been recording a lot and doing a little bit of playing with Dave Watts from the Motet out here in Denver, Colorado. We recorded a song for Black Lives Matter movement, and that's available on his pages as well as mine. Check that out.
And you're also
I'm doing a lot of cool.
you've been teaching too.
Supernatural Beings, Catharsis with Dave Watts. Yeah, a lot. Since being off the road, work and put the master's degree in jazz studies that I went and got while touring with Digital Tape Machine, my band.
Well, was that after? So you went to
20s.
did you graduate Berkeley?
And,
Graduate Berkeley first, and then get the master's in jazz, or were they together?
Yeah. I went to Berkeley. I went to Berkeley and graduated in 2006 from Berkeley, and then in 2012 I graduated from DePaul University and doing the master's in jazz studies there. I've always studied jazz and that sort of thing, but I was touring at the same time as doing the master's, so I'd come back for like a few days, do a bunch of classes. My teachers were really cool about it, and everything I needed to do was done. So it was a nice thing to do in conjunction with still doing the performance, which has always been number one for me. So, but yeah, I've been teaching a lot of students, all ages, all different levels and stuff. They're all dedicated. So that's the main thing. And it's fun. I love it. I love doing it. So I'm all about learning and sharing the knowledge.
Well, you were teaching guitar before Live Lesson Masters. That's always been something you've done, right?
Always. Yeah. I've been, as soon as I finished college and even before, so that had been going for years. And that Live Lesson Masters is new for me. But it's mostly been something I've done on my own.
How do you like how's that working out for you? How's the app working?
Yeah. So in conjunction, I mean, with the it's pretty good. I've had some action on it, and it's a good idea. I think that it's a great idea.
Well, I know, like,
has done something like that, to make it accessible for people.
Yeah, and I know guys like Bayless have had to figure out how to be a guitar teacher because it's not something they've ever done before. So they had to come to terms with like how you're going to teach, where this is something you've done. So it's probably a lot easier for you to step into. I mean, I'm sure everybody figures it out.
Sure. Yeah. Not everyone is a great teacher as they are a player, and that's something I've experienced myself firsthand. And, I like to try and make it a positive experience no matter what for the student, and make sure that they learn a bunch of stuff and have fun. That's the main thing, to want to continue to keep playing and doing your thing. So yeah, I mean, the teaching thing's always been a big thing for me, and also I do a lot of recording sessions here at home. People are sending me a lot of stuff for their original music, and then other types of various projects as well, and getting a lot of great tones out of the place here on guitar and bass and other stuff too. So I love doing session work as well.
How are you finding Denver compared to Los Angeles?
You know what? I have a lot of things I love about it. I gotta say, it's the air is great in comparison. Um, you know, I do miss things about LA, such as all the nostalgic history that's there of rock and roll and just everything in entertainment. I think it's awesome for that, and the people there are all super focused and prioritize their careers very heavily, which I identify with quite a bit. Um, Out here in Colorado, there's more out, you know, there's a lot of mountainy, outdoorsy things to do that I've been taking advantage of, and hiking and getting in touch with nature a little more, especially the last few months here. I made a lot of great friends out here, a lot of great musician friends and people who just love music, and the community for music is just really strong here.
Yeah,
people are very
a
supportive,
lot of people have moved.
not only of
A lot of people have moved there to Denver.
mhm,
A,
mhm.
a lot by,
Yeah, it's a
people, I
great
mean musicians.
yeah, there are a lot of musicians here who have come from LA and stuff, I know even. But like it's a good smooth transition if you're going to go from one music place to another type of music place. I think it's a lot easier to build a band and build a following in Denver, just because there's just more of a focus on the music community rather than like LA has so much going on, everybody's kind of distracted. But the studio scene and the work scene that's like, you know, that we involved in, and um, TV and film work,
Right.
stuff like that. That's awesome about LA. There's so much of it there.
Yeah, but the
And
live music scene in LA
I
is
still
is,
do
is
a lot
not
of that
like
with my
Denver.
friends from there too. You know, so as much as I'm not in LA right now, I am.
Yeah. It definitely changes.
No, it's a difference. Like I said, the pros and cons, but things kind of balance.
Yeah. Well, and probably good to be around that those many accessible musicians that you could jam with too. Have you been playing at all with other people?
Yes, I have been. I have not stopped playing the whole quarantine time. I have been practicing a ton, getting myself, as we say. I've been playing exclusively with a couple people in socially distanced, safe environments, and practicing and writing and recording and things like that. So I've maintained very active in music, and if not even more active than I was before, to be honest with you, because I have time to do other things other than just constantly be on tour, writing
Right.
about the next show, you know,
Right.
everything like that.
Well,
So
that must be
when I
very.
return back to that lifestyle, it's gonna.
It must be a huge relief for you to be able to catch your breath, your creative breath, in a way.
Yeah, that's well said. Yeah, it is a creative breath. It's a chance to. I mean, we were all, I think, just grinding so hard and just go go go. And this has been a chance to step back to first for a minute and just breathe and evaluate and kind of see things from a different point of view and create more balance, if you will. And I'm all about keeping balance in all parts of my musical life, you know. And so it's been good for that, I would say. I do miss performing for people. I had one show here that was at New Conscious, which is a venue here in Denver, art gallery venue, and we did a socially distanced show for a very small capacity crowd, and they were in the far back of the venue, completely in the back, and we were on the stage, so we could see them back there and hear them a little bit. But that's the closest I've been to a real show lately.
Kind of crazy.
Aside from all the live streams and stuff like that. So.
Well, why don't you want to play a little tune for us?
Oh, geez. Oh, sure. What do you guys want to hear? Taking a clap.
Well, someone's saying Pink Floyd in here, but we're a bunch of Why do you just why do you play a little bit of? I'm gonna come off the screen here, so it's just gonna be you, and you just let it rip. All right, there you go.
All right.
Marcus Rezak. All right.
Little something, just a little teaser for everybody there.
It's always so great to hear music. I don't know what it is, but we're all so addicted to it, and it's such a huge part of our lives. This has been really hard for all of us to not have live music, and even harder for you. The only thing. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say that the only other thing I've been doing is something called curbside concerts, and that's something that's been going on here, started by Eric Gould from Pink Talking Fish and Mark out here from 10 Mile High venue, and it's something I've been doing a little bit also, which has been these private sort of solo acoustic shows that I do, doing all kinds of songs and stuff. So if you're in the Denver area and you actually would want to have a show, you could go to Curbside Concerts and do something about getting live music in your life again.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So you pull up to people's house on the flatbed of a truck or something, or what do you do? How's it work?
You pull up in your car. You got to have a PA system. You got to have something that sounds good. All your gear, the stuff that you do a show. And you set up right outside your car, and or in a designated area of the person's home or whatever the place is.
Right.
And you set up and go, and they provide power. And you just rock and roll, do your show, and
that's epic. Because I know I saw Joel was doing them out here, and Joel Cummins is doing them out here in California where he's pulling up, but I don't know how he pulls up with the piano.
But it's been great. I'm very happy and a lot of joy from getting a show again. It's amazing.
Yeah, when you get to play for people, it brings it all home. Yes.
And Joel Cummins, yep, he's always up something smart. That guy.
All the guys. Well, you've surrounded yourself with amazing musicians over the years. I mean, all the guys from Zappa, the Ike Willis thing. I've been watching a ton of Zappa on the YouTube.
It's important as much as it is for people listening as it is for us to play. So, it goes both ways.
Yeah, and of course, and a lot of musicians are out of work right now because this is the way they make money. And yesterday we had our friend Jared Slomo off, and he was talking about this organization, which is for all the small clubs and all the small bars and where you guys play to help them survive, because they're all out of work right now too, and not knowing where the next dollar is coming. Yes. All right. My friend, Marcus, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate you. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got through it. And, we're all watching for new music coming out from you and lots of great things. And to see you back on the road playing for our enjoyment, we'll know things are all right when we see you popping up.
Everybody in the industry right now. So everyone from the bar venue to the who operate them, Okay.
Thank you, Marcus. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon.
Good.
All right. There you go. Marcus Rezak. Yes, of course. Technical difficulties, but they complete me just like you do. The technical difficulties, they make it all work. But some important things for you guys. Head count. Everybody's got to vote. You all have to register to vote. You see what it's like out there now. You see what's going on. You have to make yourself known. If you want to get a lesson from our friend Marcus, he could teach you how to play that guitar. I don't think you're going to be as good as he is, but he will teach you how to play that guitar. And our friends at Asher's, we are coming up with this chocolate bar. I'm still eating the samples that they sent me, and they're delicious. Any one of these could have been the bar. So I just want you to know we're working on it. And our friends from Solo Pipe, Marcus and Ben, are going to get a solo pipe today. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Tomorrow, hopefully we'll have a little bit better internet connection. We're going to New Orleans to talk to RJB. He's not in New Orleans, but Rob Steinberg is. Our friend Rob Steinberg is going to be back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about festival time, right? I believe that's the name of the series that Rob and RJ are doing, and their first stop is Jazz Fest. We're going to look at some pictures. We're going to talk about Jazz Fest. We're going to do it all. We're going to get it to you guys. We're going to deliver it to you. So tomorrow, Jazz Fest. Friday, Jesse Stanley created this little strain called Charlotte's Web. So you're definitely going to want to check in and hear what he's up to, because these guys are innovators in the CBD area and in the cannabis industry. And we're also going to have 710 with Brad Melschenker from 710 Oil. So tune in. Hopefully the technical difficulties will all evaporate and go away. But check out that Bad Veins. I was listening to his Spotify today. Ben Davis, very talented. Thank you for coming on today, Ben. And Marcus Rezak, thank you for soldiering through with the shitty internet. Hard to have a conversation, but we got through it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please stay healthy, educate, hydrate, medicate. There you go. Peace, love, happiness for everyone out there. The hug. Oh, that felt good. Thank you all for the hug. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. These are strange times out there. Don't believe the hype. Yes, the Wi-Fi will be better in NOLA. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Same